All right, so we're recording. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Miss.
All right, so for the first 2 hours today, we're going to be looking at loops. And then for the remaining 2 hours, we're going to be looking at arrays. I am hoping that you were okay with the assignment, after class assignment that you got. Spoke to Dana, she had little challenges, but it doesn't seem like it was coding challenges per se, so like buffer challenges, right, Dana? Right? So we're going to be looking at what if we want to repeat a set of instructions. How would we go about repeating those instructions? So what I'm going to do, I am going to share my screen with you so that you could look at a particular question, and I'm going to show you how we would develop our solution to facilitate a looping kind of structure. So what is looping? Looping is just repetition. You realize that you have a set of instructions that you would want to repeat a certain number of times, or you just want it to be repeated. You might not know how many times, but you want those instructions to be repeated. So instead of asking 10 different times, writing codes, 10 instructions saying enter name, enter name, enter name, and then read name, read name, read name. And let us think about for a normal institution like a school or a bank that has about 1,000 students or over 1 million customers. You are not going to sit down writing, enter your customer number, and then read that, then enter customer number 2 and read that, then enter customer. That is too much work. So if you realize that there is a set of instructions that you're going to need to repeat, it means that you need a looping structure. All right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, as I said, share my screen with you so that you can see us developing our solution to facilitate looping. All right, so this is what I want you to do for me. Everybody needs to write a pseudocode to accept a number and output whether the number is odd or even. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes to come up with a pseudocode to solve that problem. So we want to write a pseudocode that will accept a number and it will output whether the number is odd or even. Is it clear on the screen? Oh yeah, you are telling me that I need to go to options. Are you finished? Yeah. Okay. Courtney, can I see what you have, please? Can you share? All right. So everybody's looking at the response that Courtney has. So he has one variable. He's declaring one variable called number as an integer. So he says, let us start out by asking for that integer number. Then he's going to read that number. Remove the brackets because it kind of look codish for the read. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure if I understand what your if statement is, the condition for it is.
Okay, so I'm saying that if the number is divisible by 2 and the modulus of the number is 0. So if it's divisible by 2 and you don't get a remainder, then it is an even number.
And you're sure that that is what you should be writing though? Because when you say it's divisible by 2, it means that when you divide it by 2, the remainder is 0, right? So just saying number divided by 2 is simply doing a calculation. If number is 5 and you divide it by 2, the answer is going to be 2 there. And so what you have is an arithmetic thing. And then you're saying and modulus number equals 0. What is modulus number?
All right, so I don't know how to write it in the the pseudocode format. So so first, you check if the number is divisible by 2, because all even numbers are divisible by 2.
Right.
But if you have a remainder, then it is not an even number. It would be a prime number or an odd number.
Okay.
So what I'm checking now, the two conditions have to be equal. The number must be divisible by 2, and when you check the same number, it doesn't have a remainder. So the modulus of that is 0.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone who would like to fix that if statement for me? Anybody would like to recommend a fix to that if statement? It's obvious that we have an issue with if statement, Courtney, but I want somebody else to tell me what's going on with it. Anybody? All right. Everybody's so quiet. All right. Okay. I am going to share my screen. Courtney, can you unshare yours, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
I thought Taylor would have jumped in to help me.
Yes, I thought so too.
Learn to be quiet when others are learning.
All right. So we have to start. And the first thing is that we want to declare number as an integer, right? Agree? So we have print. We're going to ask them to enter a number. Then we're going to read that number from them. So whatever we get from them, we're going to store it in number. Then after that, we need to ask a question. We need to ask if when we divide number by 2, if the modulus, if the answer or the remainder is equal to 0. So the arithmetic operators that we have are the plus, the minus, the multiply, the divide, and we have the modulus operator. So what we need to do is use the modulus operator here, because what we are concerned with is the remainder. So what the modulus operator will do is divide number by 2, but instead of giving us a dividend, it will give us the remainder, right? So if we realize that number, if number is, say, 5, and we say number modulus 2, the answer that we're going to get is going to be, the answer that we're going to get is going to be 1. So the modulus is going to divide, you know, but it doesn't give you the dividend. What it does is give you the remainder. If you use like what Courtney did, he used the forward slash, which means divide. So instead of giving you the remainder, the divide is going to give you the dividend, and that is a problem, right? So what we need to do is ask if the number, ask what is number modulus 2. So we're asking what is the remainder of whatever number is divided by 2. And we're going to check if it is equal to 0. Because if it is equal to 0, then we can say we have an even number on our hands. So we have an even number on our hands. Otherwise, we have an odd number on our hands. Any questions so far? And then end the if and stop. Yes, Courtney.
Yeah, so I wasn't too sure how to represent working out the modulus in pseudocode.
Yes.
So that's why I wrote it like that.
Oh, okay. So you're going to use one of the arithmetic operators available to you, because you're trying to get the remainder, and the remainder is going to use the modulus operator, right? So when you use the modulus operator, we're good to go, right? We'll get the remainder, and then we can do our comparison. All right, can you look at it and then tell me what you think, guys? I need your feedback here. Not the silence thing not going to work, definitely. All right?
I did
Miss?
Who is talking this time? Dana?
Yes.
Okay, so Dana first and then Ophelia.
Okay. I just want to get an understanding of what the modulus means.
Oh, the modulus does the division too. It divides too. But instead of giving you the dividend, it gives you the remainder. So if you are working with a number, say 10, and you divide, and you say 10 modulus 3, what the modulus will do is divide 10 by 3. But instead of giving you the dividend of 3, saying that 3 can go into 10 3 times, it will give it a remainder, which is 1. So if I had said 15 modulus 5, the answer would be 0, because it is giving you the remainder, not the dividend.
Okay. And I noticed after the bracket that you have 2 equal signs.
Right, because it's time now to compare. So what we're doing is we have worked out what the remainder is, right? After we work out the remainder, remember that the if works with a condition. So saying number modulus 2 is not enough. Number modulus 2 is just going to give you a number. It's not going to give you a Boolean of true or false. And the if only works with true or false, right? Now, if I wanted to, I could have expanded this instead. Let me take it out from here, so maybe it would be easier for you to get. So the remainder, let us say the remainder is number modulus 2. And then what will happen is that the if has to work with something that's Boolean. So we're going to check if the remainder that we calculated or we got, if it is equal to 0. Because if it is equal to 0, then we have an even number on our hands. Otherwise, we have an odd number on our hands. Right? So what is happening with the if is that you definitely need a Boolean result of true or false. Right? So we have to use the operators that will help us out, the relational operators like the greater than, the less than, the equal to, the less than or equal to, the greater than or equal to, the not equal to, those kind of relational operators. These are what we use with conditions. These are what we use with the ifs. Because the if needs to ask a question, and the question has to be either true or false. So the result is Boolean. So what we did, we got the remainder first, and then after we get the remainder, we check now if that remainder is equal to 0. Because if it is equal to 0, then we have an even number on our hands. Otherwise, we have odd number on our hands. All right.
Okay. Thanks.
Is that clear enough?
Yeah, I just have to like
Absorb it, yeah. Ophelia, your time.
Yes, I was just wondering if that's the only way we can write it.
Okay.
Do we have to put modular or put the, like you were saying, the different signs?
Tell me what you mean. You want to show me what you have?
No, it's not. I don't have it like that. But I was just wondering if, for example, if number is equals to, instead of putting modular, put even and odd.
Oh, you can't do that. The computer needs to be told what's an even number and what's an odd number. So if you say even odd, it's going to be confused because you have to tell it how to identify a number as even and how to identify a number as odd. So you have to actually go into the nitty-gritties of things. You have to actually say, computer, this is how you know that a number is odd. When you divide it by 2, if it gives you a remainder of 1, then it means it's odd. Otherwise, it is even. So you have to tell the system that. All right. Okay, any other questions? All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to go into Dev Pascal, and we're going to convert what we have into Pascal language. So I'm going to stop sharing so that I can share this screen with you. All right, so this is what we have so far. So we're saying, please enter a number. All right, so let me start from the beginning. So we have program, odd even, that's what I called it. And we're going to use CRT. Why am I using CRT? So that I can hold the screen. So I intend to use read key to hold the screen. All right. The only variable I have is number right now. So based on what we did before, I am going to put remainder in it also. All right, so it can match the pseudocode that we have. So we have number, remainder. These are the two variables we have, and both of them are actually integers. So let us now begin the code, the instructions, and the end with the full stop says that we are finished with the instructions. So what's the first thing we have, or what's the first instruction we have? We are going to say to the user, please enter a number, and you use a write function. Then we're going to read that number, whatever they give us, we're going to read it into the variable number. After we have done that, we are going to calculate the remainder. And the remainder is going to be assigned number mod 2. All right? So now we're going to continue. So if the remainder that we get is equal to 0, then we are going to write something. So let us say, what is it that we're going to write? So we're going to begin the then part, and remember that we end the then part. So what is it that we want to say? We want to say here that if the remainder is equal to 0, we would say even number. Now, you can fix it up as much as you want. You could actually put that number, and then you say, you know, go in here and say is an even number, something like that, if you wanted to pretty it up. All right. Now, before we go any further, let us make sure that all is well. So I am going to run this. It says 2 errors. Let us figure out what is happening here. 1 equal sign. Okay, good. All right.
Sorry,
so,
I had to run out earlier.
Huh?
Sorry about that. I had to run out earlier.
Okay, that's fine. So we're checking if remainder is equal to 0. Now, if you notice, a syntax complaint when I use a double equal. So to do a comparison using the equal, then we're going to use 1 equal sign. So if we're trying to find out if remainder is equal to 0, we're going to use 1 equal, not 2 equal signs. All right, so that is the rule as it relates to Pascal. Good? So, okay. So if the remainder is equal to 0, then we're going to begin the then section and we end the then section. And what is it that we're saying? We're saying that the number is an even number. Now, what if remainder is not equal to 0? Well, if you're dividing by 2, is one of 2 things going to be the remainder. It's either going to be 0 or it's going to be 1. So we don't have to do another if. We can just say else, and then we're going to begin that else. And then we're going to make sure we end it with the semicolon. And what is it that we're going to write this time? I'm going to copy this. Yep. Right? And then instead we would say it is an odd number. Now, based on syntax, if we have an if-else structure, the then part that has a begin end, the end cannot have a semicolon. So if we have an if-else working with, if it's a normal if, then the end is going to be a semicolon. But if it is an if-else, the semicolon is going to come after for the else part, the end for the else part. That's where the semicolon goes. And that's just syntax. All right? So if we run this, we should see no error. Now let me just execute. That means I have to stop sharing the screen and then share again. All right, everybody should be seeing now. So if I enter the number 45, I should actually see that 45 is an odd number. All right. Okay. Now, if you notice, if I wanted to do another number, I can't do it. I would have to come out because I do not facilitate looping here. All right. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to put up back the code for you. And I'm going to give you about maybe 7 to 10 minutes to do this for yourself. Open up your Dev Pascal and type up this code for me and run it for yourself to make sure that all is well. Now, just a simple reminder, when you have an if-else structure, the if part is going to have a begin and an end. The else part is going to have a begin and an end. Now, the if part, the end is not going to have a semicolon, but for the else part will have a semicolon. And again, that is just the rule of the language. We just obey it and we move on. All right?
Miss?
Yes.
Quick question. I noticed in your implementation that you created a separate variable called remainder and worked out the remainder first, rather than in the if statement. Is there any particular reason why we couldn't have done it in the if statement, or it's just your preference?
No, it could have been, my preference is actually to put it in the if statement. But because we're dealing with majority novices, it's best to blast it so that they can see it. So if I notice from the questions asked that some persons have issues distinguishing the relational from the arithmetic. And also that the if requires that you have a relational kind of situation where you get a true or false answer. So if I combine arithmetic with relational, that can be confusing. So what I did was just blast it so that those who are new to this would understand a little more, a little better, That's the reason for blasting it. Yeah. All right, so are there any questions? So you have 7 to 10 minutes to type this up for yourself and to run it. All right, just to make sure that you are okay and so forth. Finish? Yeah. All right, for those who are finished, can you just do another question for me, please? Accept the, because you did something like that already, so I'll try to. The worksheet. Yeah, you could continue working with the worksheet, yeah. Continue working from the worksheet. Because where I want to go, I think you did something like that already. What happened? Yes, Dana, what happened?
Alright. It keeps on giving me errors and then I'm trying to.
Okay, so what kind of errors you getting?
4. I've tried, I've looked at everything.
All right, you want to share with me? Let me see what's going on.
Okay then.
Good morning, Dexton. Okay, you spelled integer wrong. So the key to this is learning how to read the error messages that you get, right? So if you go down, you see it says that identifier not found integer. So it's saying something is wrong with integer. All right, run it again now to see what's happening. Okay, now you're going to double click where they say you have that error. Good. Now do you notice that mod each upon 2? The 2 are joined. Yeah, you have to separate those because mod is a keyword, and you say number mod 2, so you can have mod on 2. You can have them joined. Run it now.
Okay, no.
All right, good. You can stop sharing. You're good. It's okay. It's just a trick to the trade. Learning how to read the error messages. Anybody else? Hi, Jessica. You okay?
Hi, yes, I'm okay.
All right, good.
I had 3 errors, but I fixed them, so
Excellent.
I'm good.
Okay, good. Rosalind, how are we?
I did it, but I'm not sure if I made an error in naming the file because I'm trying to run it, but it doesn't show me the window that I'm supposed to be seeing.
Okay, so show me your screen. Let me see what's going on.
Just now.
The indentation looks off though. It will make your work harder to read if your indentation is off. All right? Okay, no. You're fixing what don't need fixing. Tab that, yeah. Or you see where you have if remainder is equal to 0, then your begin needs to go in some more after the if. The begin after the if, the begin. It needs to go in. Going a little more. Go one more. Good. The right needs to go in some more. Give it 2 more spaces. All right. The end needs to be in line with the begin. All right. The else and the if is in line. Good. The begin for the else needs to go in line with that begin and end that you have above. Good. The right, the same story for the right. Yeah, and then do the same thing with the end for. All right, good. Okay. Run it now. Let me see what's going on. Oh. Okay, X out. File. Save unit as. Okay, call it odd even. Let me see. Let's call it something else and see what's going on. All right, save. Okay. Okay, compile it for me now. All right, do me a favor. You're going to select all by doing Control A. Okay, you know what I notice? I notice that you don't have an end to the entire program. Go back up, let me see something. Deselect the select all. All right, okay, you see that final end, it needs a full stop. Sorry. All right, and carry it over to the left. The end itself, carry it over to the left, so that it is in line with the begin for it. All right, try to execute again. Let me see what's happening. All right, good. Okay, select all. Control A to select all. Oh Lord. Okay. Copy. File. I want you to go to a new source file. New source file. Okay. And I'm going to ask you to paste now. I want you to close odd even that you have behind it. No. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is file, save unit as. Okay, save it as odd even one. Let's see what's going on. Okay, see. All right, execute it, let me see. I don't know, say okay. I wonder how you started, what you did to get into that window where you started typing.
There's a space between the colon
And I just saw that. Yes. You have a space between the colon and the equal to, the equal sign. You can have a space.
Line about that.
In the remainder, where you're calculating the remainder. Those two need to come together as one. Okay. Put a space between the equal sign and number.
And the right statement, the bracket should be on the outside.
Which one are the right statement?
On the if.
Okay.
If begin right.
Yeah, but we're finding the some of their errors, but it's not compiling though.
Oh, but you don't have a semicolon there and the bracket.
That's no, I know those are syntax errors, but it's still not compiling. It's not going through the compilation process and give off the errors so that you can see them and correct them.
In front of program.
It could. Remove that space in front of program at the top.
Miss, she's probably in project. She may have to close it again.
I saw that thing down the bottom that says project. That is the one that got my attention. That's why I wanted to find out from her how she went through that process overall.
Yeah, so she may have to close it and then go to and go to new source file or open project or file. One of them.
Yeah, because everything is inside of a project. I'm seeing book inside of the project, odd even and odd even one. They're all inside of a project. We don't want that. All right.
Right.
Select all again for me, please, Rosalind. Thank you, Ophelia.
You're welcome.
All right. I want you to close out of Def Pascal for me, please, Rosalind. Put in the copy. I know. All right. Go back into Def Pascal, please. Close. Oh, okay. Close all of those. Okay. Let's see. I don't want you in a project. All right. Okay. Go to file. Let me see. Close project. Select close project. All right. Good. File. New source file. All right, select everything in there and delete it. All right, now paste what you have now. Okay. All right. Save this now as odd even. All the other odd even that you have, you can get rid of those. So if we were to ask if you want to overwrite, you can say yes. All right, compile and let me see now. Okay, good. All right, it tells you where your issues are, so find them now. No, close out of that. Double click, yes. Okay. All right, so there's an issue either in that line or the line above. So can you identify the errors in the line above? Yes. That apostrophe or quote, single quote should actually yes. And remember your semicolon to end everything. All right, try again, compile again. All right, good. Execute. Enter, say 10. Very good. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to ask everyone now to look at my screen.
Miss?
Yeah?
Mine is keep telling me I have one error.
Ophelia, that's you? Screen quickly so that we can see. All right, you want to double click where it says you have the error. Okay. Remember I said to you for the if else, the end for the if must not have a semicolon. Remember I said that?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to remove that semicolon for the end above. Or double click where they say the error is. Where's the semicolon after read key? Okay. You have not ended the overall program? Is there
I
an
have
end
not what?
after read key? Is there an end after read key?
Yes.
Where is it?
Oops.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Your indentation is off though. Can you go up a little? Why is it that you have a semicolon where begin is? After the else?
Right there?
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so you can stop sharing now and I'm going to show you my screen so you can look at my indentation. My indentation is very purposeful, so you have to pay very keen attention to it because it will make your code hard to read. Don't pay keen attention to your indentation. So I am showing you my overall screen. You seeing it? Oh, Ophelia, can you put your mic on mute, please? Thank you. Now, do you notice that every time I go into begin, I indent? When I went into the if, I indented. And when I went into the begin, I indented. And when I was coming out of the begin with the end, so I could see that each end, what it was actually aligned with. So this end is aligned with this begin. This end is aligned with this begin. This end is aligned with this begin. What else am I seeing? The else here is aligned with the if. All right, so your indentation is extremely important because it makes your code easier to read. Now, what I would like to demonstrate to you now is I'll use the pseudocode first. So let me just stop sharing and then start sharing the Word document so you can see my pseudocode. Now, as it relates to the pseudocode, what if I wanted the user to enter a series of numbers, right? So let us say I wanted the user to enter, say, 5 numbers. So that means I know how many times or how many times I must ask for the user to enter a number. I know how many times I must be reading a number. I know how many times I must calculate the remainder. I know how many times I must check if a number is odd or even. So what I'm going to do here, instead of doing something like this, if I want 5 numbers, why is it that I would just come and I will do a copy of this? Yeah? Why would I do that and paste that? And then I will do that 5 times. That's a waste of time and energy and it's not efficient, right? So what we're going to do is use a looping structure because I know that I want to accept 5 numbers, and also I would like to, determine whether or not each of those numbers are, even or odd, even or odd. So how do I go about doing something like that? As I said to you before, I'm going to definitely need a loop, right? So what I'm going to do is when I'm going to loop, I'm going to use the most basic loop ever. It's called the while loop. So you're going to say while something. So you're saying you need a condition, just like with the if, you need a condition. So what is it that I want to do? I want to do a counter because I know that it's 5 numbers that I want. So it means then that I need another variable. So let me call that variable count or counter. And I'm going to give that counter an initial value. So that counter is going to start out by being 1. And while that counter is less than or equal to 5, what is it that I would like to do? What I'd like to do is ask for a number, read that number, find the remainder of that number when I divide it by 2 and then determine if the number is even or odd. And then now that counter needs to change. Because if it doesn't change, it means I'm going to be in an infinite loop. What does that mean? It means that counter will remain as 1. And if counter remains as 1, then counter will always be less than 5. And if counter is always less than 5, you will never exit this loop. Because the only way you can end this loop is if counter becomes greater than 5. In this case, I'm going to increase counter by 1. And then I'm going to end the while. Now, what you need to understand is for the loop to work, the while loop to work, you're going to need 3 components. Now, before those 3 components, you need to identify a variable that will be controlling your loop. There must be a variable that is controlling the loop. Now, if you notice a variable that is controlling the loop is counter. That is what is controlling the loop. Now, counter is going to need an initial value. So that's the first thing that you need to bear in mind. So what's the initial value? Well, my counter is going to determine how many times I ask the user to enter a number, how many times I will read the number, how many times I will determine if the number is even or odd, right? So what is going to happen is that my counter is extremely important to me because it will determine how many times I do whatever is inside of this loop. So I'm using the while, bearing in mind, guys, that the while is what you use when you want to loop, and it's the most basic looping structure, all right? So the first thing is that counter is going to be assigned the value 1. The next thing is that I need counter to be a part of the condition for the while. So while counter is less than or equal to 5, I can enter this loop. Once counter becomes greater than 5, I cannot enter this loop. And why is it that I'm saying greater? Well, I am starting out counter as 1. Each time counter is increasing. So that means I'm always moving up, right? Each time it is increasing by 1. So each time I'm moving up, so counter will be 1, then it will be 2, then it will be 3, then it will be 4, then it will be 5. Each time counter changes, I am checking to ensure that counter is less than or equal to 5. Because the moment counter becomes greater than 5, that is when I stop asking for the entry of numbers. All right? So, yeah, any questions? So I am highlighting for you what is important. The counter is what the variable that will be controlling the loop. 3 things for your while loop to work. Your variable must have an initial value. It must be a part of a condition, and the variable must change. The value in the variable must change. In this case, we are moving from 1 to 5. The moment counter becomes a 6, we are out. So if you don't have the 3 components to make that loop work, it won't work. All right? So what we're going to do is, essentially, what am I saying? I'm just saying that everything here that I'm about to highlight, everything here that is highlighted will be done 5 times. That's what I am saying. How do I ensure that it is done 5 times? I use a very basic looping structure called the while loop. The while loop demands that you have a variable that will control it. So we have identified that variable to be counter, and it is an integer. For that while loop to work, it needs 3 components. It needs an initial value, and we saw that our initial value is 1. It needs to be a part of a condition. We see that the condition is you're able to enter the loop while counter is less than or equal to 5. And also within the loop, you need to change your control variable. In this case, we're moving from 1 to 5. So we are each time increasing by 1. Are there any questions? No? So what I'm about to do now is I'm going to go into Pascal now, and I'm going to make the adjustments and then let you see what happens. All right. So here again, remember we need our control variable, which is counter. All of this needs to be indented. How do I indent here now? All right, fine. Give me a hard time. Oops, undo. Okay, what is that? Move from project, I'm looking for the indent or the tab. It's available, I just don't know where it is. Should really be in here, but it's not. Anyways, okay. So let us start out by saying that counter is assigned the value 1. Then we're saying while counter is less than or equal to 5. What is it that we would like to do? Well, we're going to start with the begin because we need to begin the while. This is just syntax. And I'm going to just tab these, carry them over. If you notice, I don't use the space bar because that can be a bit stressful. Well, in this case, I'll use it there. Good. Okay. So this is a syntax for Pascal. If you're doing a while also, you're going to need a begin for it, yes? And you'll also need to end it, all right? The other thing that we had added was the counter increasing by 1. So counter assign equal counter plus 1, all right, semicolon. So let's see what we have here. Let me just bring these up so we can see a bigger picture, you know, the whole thing instead of piece. All right, so what is it that we need? We realize that we're going to need to loop this. That's what we need to do. We need to loop that. So to loop it, we're going to use a looping structure. The most basic one is a while. We need a variable to control the loop. That variable is counter. For the loop to work, we need 3 things. The first thing is that we need a starter value for the variable. We need to ensure that the variable is included in a condition for the while. And also we need to ensure that the variable is changing. In this case, it should be moving towards the 5, not away from it. So that is why we are increasing by 1. So if I should run this, I should have no errors. Then I am going to execute. Now let us see what happens when I'm executing. It asks me to enter a number. Say I enter 10. Then it says to me that I have an even number, 10 is an even number. Ask me to enter another number. Say I put 11. All right, this is kind of untidy. I'm going to clean it up. The issue is that I would need to maybe put a right ln there and a right ln there after we print. Yeah, that should work. And then if you want to put in extra spaces, that's up to you. I'm going to share again. All right, so say I enter 10, it would say that 10 is an even number. What if I entered 78? It would say 78 is an even number. What if I said 67? Odd number. 9, odd number. 0 is an even number. And then if you notice, it didn't ask me again to enter another number. So you notice how many numbers I was allowed to enter? I was allowed to enter only 5 numbers. And for each of them, it told me whether it was an even number or not. All right? So, yeah. Any questions, guys? Any questions? I'm going to show my programming screen now, the Pascal programming screen for you.
Miss Rodney?
Yeah.
I noticed you didn't put a semicolon after do.
After, no, you don't normally put semicolons there. You notice even for the if, I didn't have a semicolon. For the while, I don't have a semicolon. That's syntax.
Oh.
You notice for the begins, I don't have semicolons either. You notice? For your begins, you don't have any semicolon. Right, so you don't have any semicolon for the while. You don't have any semicolon for the if. You don't have any semicolon for the else. So those are syntax. If you put a semicolon, it won't pay attention to what you want to do. It would say that your while is finished. You know what I'm going to ask you to do now, right? I'm going to ask you to put in the while and see if it works. So you're going to put in the while for me and then run it and so forth. Try it for yourself to make sure all is well. Really?
Miss,
Yeah.
after a while, open bracket counter, less than sign equals 5, close bracket. What is that there after the semicolon?
Do.
As in
After
GO?
semicolon, there's no semicolon in that line.
After the colon,
Which colon?
there's no colon as well?
You can't see it?
Okay, well, no, that's my error if it's that.
Huh?
That is my error. I was just looking for the error.
Finish? All right. I'm going to now modify the code. So instead of just saying this is an even number or this is an odd number, I'm going to modify the code to count how many even numbers we got and how many odd numbers we got. Anybody want to tell me how they would go about taking on that solution? So instead of just outputting whether the number is even or odd, we're just going to state how many odd numbers were entered and how many even numbers were entered. So I am going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm now going to be sharing my pseudocode screen. So we are modifying our algorithm, and we're going to modify the algorithm so that we would know we should output the number of odd numbers and even numbers. How would we modify the code to facilitate that? To know how many odd numbers we have and how many even numbers we have. Anybody?
Okay, Dexter here.
Yes, Dexter.
So what jumps first to mind is that you have a counter that counts both it can have one counter that counts odd numbers and another counter for counting even numbers.
All right, very good. 1 second. So let me put that in now. So you're saying we should have a counter, let's say count even.
Yes.
And another one count odd.
Yes.
Very good. Because we just want to know how many even and how many odd. So we need two variables that will be counters for us. All right?
Okay.
If they're going to be counters for us, that means that they should have an initial value to start it off. So if we haven't started counting off any numbers, then the starter would be 0. And the count even would be the same thing. It starts off at 0. All right? Okay, so what we're saying now, thank you very much, Dexton. That is true. We're going to need two variables, one to store the total number of even numbers and one to store the total number of odd numbers. Now, seeing that we haven't started accepting any numbers as yet, it means that both counters would have to start out at 0. Now, Dana, when is it that we should change count odd from 0 maybe to 1 and then to 2? When is it that we should increment? So that's the word that we use. Increment means to increase, right? So when is it that we should increase count odd?
When we have more numbers.
All right, so okay, look at the code itself and I want you to tell me where is it that I should increase count odd. Count odd is supposed to be adding up the number of odd numbers that we have. So where in the code we should actually increase count odd? Oh, you might mute, Dana.
While beneath the message for loop, while.
So this is where, so what you're saying is that once you enter the while loop, you're going to increase count odd?
Well, we have to put another, well, I don't know, another thing to put for count odd is greater than or.
No, but what we're doing is keeping, okay, let me ask you something. I'm going to give you a series of numbers, right? And I want you to tell me how many odd numbers you got and how many even numbers you got. You ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, 11, 14, 12, 4, 6, 1. How many odd numbers you got?
2.
How many even numbers you got?
4.
When did you determine that you were going to increase your count for odd numbers?
When I realized that I had more than one odd number.
That's when you increased your count, your count of odd numbers? Think again. You were counting, weren't you? When is it that you determined that you were counting even versus odd?
When the numbers increased.
All right, tell me again what you mean. Because I think you're being very surface, so I'm not getting what you're talking about.
Come on, Dana. Let's get some deep learning in there.
When we had more than one number.
Mm-hmm. All right, so as you got the numbers, what did you do? You got a number, what did you do?
I wrote it down and then I figured out which one was even, which one was odd.
All right, you see what you did? You got the number first. Mm-hmm. After you got the number, you determined if it was even or odd.
Yes.
Then what did you do after that?
I pulled out the odd ones and the even.
Oh, what you did, you wrote down all my numbers first?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what is a problem? I never tell you to write nothing.
I know.
I never wanted you to write. What I wanted you to do is to use here. Don't write any at all. If you use here alone, you will see the process. So if I gave you the number 11, immediately, because you're not writing, you got the number 11. So in your head, you're going to say, is that odd or even? So you say, okay, it's odd. So you would have increased your count from 0 to 1 for odd numbers. Then say I gave you 12. When I gave you the 12, you stop and you say, is that even or odd? Okay, it's even. So your count for even would have increased by 1. Then I gave you, say, the number 4. So when you got the number 4, you say, hold on, odd or even. You say, it's even. So you would have increased your count for even by 1. So your count for even gone up to what? 2. So when is it that I had increased, or when is it that you had increased your count even?
When you have all the odd numbers coming in.
You increase your even number based on the number that was given to you. If it was even, you increased it, your count for it. So you got a number, you determine if the number was odd or even, and if it is odd, you increase the number of odds, and if it was even, you increase the number of evens. It's all right. It's a new way of thinking, because in our head we jump things, you know, so don't feel too bad. It happens. It's a new way of thinking.
That's what I was telling you, is when your odd increase, then you would have more. You would count.
Yeah, but it's a step-by-step process. You actually got a number, determine if it was odd or even, then you increase one of them. Then you got another number, determine if it was odd or even, then based on whether it's odd or even, you increase one of the counts that you have. So in your head, you are making space for 2 counters. One is a counter for the even, and one is a counter for the odd.
Yes.
You also made space in your head to accept a number. So you got a number, you determined if it was even or odd, and then you decided whether it was to increase that or to decrease that.
Yeah, I see the step.
You see it? So my question to you is now, where should I put the code to increase count odd? So I would want to put this somewhere. I want to put count odd is equal to count odd plus 1 somewhere. Because each time I get a number that is an odd number, I want to increase my count odd, right? I want to put that somewhere, and I want to put this somewhere also. Count even is a sign count even plus 1. My question to you is where should I put count odd is a sign count odd plus 1? Where in this code should I put it?
Under the count odd, the counter equals 1 under there. Count odd equals 0, change it.
No, we have to, if we're going to do a counter, we have to start out the counter at 0.
Okay.
So where
end with the end if, under the end if.
On the here?
Yeah.
You sure? So what you're saying is that you get a number, yes? You get the remainder of the number. You check if the number is equal, the remainder of the number is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, you say it is an even number, otherwise it is an odd number. Then you go now and say that odd number is 1, increase to 1, or by 1. So what you are saying to me is that if I had given you the number 12, you would have said it is an even number, and then after you say it is an even number, you would have come here and say, guess what? My odd number has stepped up by 1. But it's not your odd number should step up by 1. What should be stepping up by 1? You're even, because I gave you 12. So anybody else want to give a try at this? I'm not stressing you no more, Dana.
No, but then isn't it the first answer I gave is correct? You put it by the while counter is, that's not where you would put it?
No, you can't put it there either. Because why would you put it there when you haven't even received the number as yet? So if I take it and I put it there, yes? I haven't received the number as yet to determine if it is odd or even. So I can't be increasing count odd and I don't know what the number is.
Okay then, and somebody else.
Yeah, give somebody else a try, yeah. Jessica? Where is it that I need to put this count odd plus 1?
The plus 1 would be after, if you have a remainder, I'm assuming, because that's when you're going to determine if it's an even number or an odd number.
All right, so tell me exactly where should I put the count odd. You're on the right track. So you're saying that it should either go here or here. Yes?
Right, yes.
So tell me where I should put it then. Should I put it in after the if or should I put it after the else?
If, I guess after the if the remainder is 0, then you add 1 to even.
Okay, so you're saying that you would increase even number here.
Yes.
All right, and what if it is not an even number? Which one would you increase?
So else, after else, then you would increase odd number.
Okay, so that's where we would put it. Now I'm going to remove the messages or let them stay, I don't know. All right, so what you're saying is based on the remainder, we will know which one to increase, right? So if the remainder is equal to 0, then it means that we need to increase count even. But if the remainder is not equal to 0, then we need to increase count odd. All right? Any questions? No, this is my challenge to you now. I want you to modify your Pascal code with the changes that we have made. I am not going to write the Pascal code changes. I want you to put in the changes now based on what we did in the pseudocode. Excuse me, please.
Seriously, it kind of came yesterday. Jeez. But here's the thing. Order from us. And then we get it.
Finish? Finish and run it for yourself?
And you want a statement at the end that tells you how many arms and how many evens you have. You want a printed statement.
Yeah, I want you to print out how many. So let me just drop that in for you now. Yeah. What time school ends?
What time school class?
No, interest.
2:30.
So last session would be like from, is what 1 hour sessions you have?
Yeah. The last session, well, see, that's tricky because the upper school is required to have at least one after school session, which is 2:30 to 3:30.
Okay.
The beautiful thing with sixth formers is that when you meet a sixth form class, they always advise us to go through the timetable. Because if it's a small class, there's a chance you can meet some from.
How large is the class?
The IT class, we don't know how many 12th graders numbers are coming, but the biggest one is
19.
something small. Because it's both 12 and 13.
And you said definitely, oh, what you want is somebody for 12 and 13.
Yeah, no, it's a combined class.
Oh,
so
everybody does. Okay, and everybody do unit 2 this year.
Yeah.
And unit 2 is when they do
the database
and website, yeah.
Oh, it's to society.
That's it, yeah, some easy stuff. The harder stuff would be teaching them the database, creating there.
Which wouldn't be hard for those who are coming from into grade 12.
Yeah, because it will be fresher for them.
It's a kind of mixed. You always have it when you have that mixed class. But the grade 12s remember the database stuff, but they freak out about that. It's the first exposure to the The grade 13, not freaking out so much, but they almost have to relearn the database.
Yes.
And everybody relearning the website because
everybody learning, yeah. And the code from scratch, the HTML.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
And then
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, maybe get the yeah, send it.
All right. So send it to who? All right, send me an email with the and then send it. So just send the resume and that's it. I'm not sit down and write a letter.
You don't have a letter from before?
No, I'm not really store them thing there. I normally just send.
I have all of mine. Keep them on each year, just resume and application. And sometimes I just look at the letter and say, all right. At least I have it. They don't want because I know it, but they don't.
Yeah. They will see my resume and know me immediately. That's what normally happens. And you say it's 1 hour sessions you have? Or half hour?
1 hour sessions, and there are a couple where it's a double session.
No, I mean, your sessions are structured to be 1 hour. Okay. You get more done with sessions like that.
Yes.
And when school begins for them?
Our first full year classes should be the 4th. And then the 12th graders come in the following Tuesday, so by the 8th.
So school really start the 8th?
Yeah,
because why ever teach?
First full day of class.
Yeah, because the 13 graders coming in, but.
Yeah, and then the introduction needed to grade 13 and it again. I know.
Yeah, they have to figure out that properly. Yeah.
Kate is helping with having the grades released earlier, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
But this year and last year, they're actually only a day or two difference. Years before, there was like 2 weeks difference between like 13th grade start.
Yeah.
Hey, miss.
Yeah.
My thing disappeared.
What happened?
It disappeared in Pascal.
Why?
I don't know, I'm not seeing it.
Disappear gone where?
No, it's not on the screen again.
So, I don't know. You saved it, right?
Yes, I saved it.
All right then. So reopen it and find it wherever it is and reopen it. All right. So how are we looking? Okay, so this is what you should have as the modification. You have your count even, and you also have your count odd. Your count even, sorry, is assigned the value 0. Count odd is assigned the value 0. So that's your starting point because you'll be counting. And the only time you change your count even is when you realize that the remainder is equal to 0. So count even is assigned to count even plus 1. And then for here, the only time you change count odd is when you realize that the remainder is not equal to 0. Obviously, it's going to be equal to 1 because you were dividing by 2. So count odd is now going to be count odd plus 1. Right? We're going to have some print statements. So let me just put in the print statements now. Well, it's after the while, not now, not here. All right. So what we have is count even is, we're gonna print, so we're gonna say right. Total odd numbers is going to be count odd. Total even numbers is going to be whatever we have in count even. All right, and that's that. So let's run this. Let me see what kind of errors I have. Oh, I think I have the executable open. All right, so run this again. All right, so execute. Just need to stop sharing. All right, so let's see. Say I enter 12. 12 is an even number. I'm going to take out all of that. Those are annoying. It's 9, 9, 4. So it told me that the total odd number is 3, total even number is 2. All right. I'm going to go back to the Pascal screen. And I'm going to take these out because they're a bit annoying. I'll take this out also. Right. And I'm going to use right ln instead of right. All right, so let me enter the numbers now. Say I enter 12, 4, 5, 8, 9. Okay, total odd numbers is 2, total even numbers 3. Are there any questions? No? Okay. All right. Take your 15 minutes break now, and then when we resume, we're going to make an amendment to the while loop to facilitate the user determining when they want to stop the entry of numbers. All right? So, yeah. So 15-minute break, and then we will do some modifications. Yeah?
Could you leave the Pascal screen
open?
On?
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Let me share it. It's up.
Thank you.
No problem.
Miss Rodney,
Yeah.
let me just still be a break. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
I'm still getting an error with mine. I've compared it to your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Find what's
Show
wrong.
me what you have.
Okay. Okay, this is what I have. When I run it, it's showing that I have on an error here.
It says you need a semicolon. So semicolon expected, but identifier counter found.
So I have to put a semicolon at the end.
Mm-hmm.
She needs one at the end above that she needs a begin on the while.
Yeah, where's the begin for the while? The while must have a begin and an end. Where is the begin for the while and the end for the while?
And there's a begin.
That's for the if. And there's a begin for the else and an end for the else. So where's the semicolon to end the else?
I need a semicolon here.
No, a semicolon to end the else. So you have a begin for the else and an end for the else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to put a semicolon here.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to add another end? No?
Oh, look if you have, what is that end for? The other end that is there. What is that as aligned with? What begin is it aligned with? That's the end of what?
I think that's an end. That was the end I had to push up, I think, you know.
Yeah, but it is the end for which one? For the if, the else, the while?
Else, it could have, for the else.
Yeah, but you already have an end for the else. No, come again. The while needs a begin. Where's the begin for the while?
While, where is it? Is that the big, let me see.
Where's the begin for the while?
After the else, there's a begin.
Mm-hmm. Let me show you my screen again. Stop sharing and look closely at my screen versus yours. There is a while, there's a begin for while, and there's an end for while. There's a begin for if and an end for if. A begin for else and an end for else. All right?
Yeah, let me see. Oh, I don't have an if.
You notice that there is a begin. There's a begin for the while. And there's the end for it. You notice I'm very purposeful with my indentation. So when you look, the begin for the while, the end for the while. So all of this is inside of the while because it is between the begin and the ending of the while. See that? All right, there's a begin for the if and an end for the if. There's a begin for the else and an end for the else.
Okay, well, leave it on. Let me just double check my stuff.
All right. How are you doing now, Dana? You cool?
I think I have to do that parting. I'm missing something. But I will get it.
Okay. All right. I am going to stop and show you a screen. What I want to do is use from 11:30 to 12, I'm going to write a pseudocode for you. And all I want you to do is to first write it in Pascal. And then I'm going to tell you what I want you to loop. All right. And what I want you to count. Cool? All right.
This is for number 5. This is for number 5.
What's number 5? You mean on the worksheet? I'm not sure. I gave you something like this already? Oh, no, this is different. This is a bus fare one. But might have the same concept. All right. Dana, can I see how you're progressing, please? I'm going to go through everyone. I just want to see how you're progressing. So Dana, then Ophelia, then Jessica. Or you notice that cons is not highlighted. It means that it is you haven't typed the right keyword. So it's const. It's CRT, not CRTS. And remember your semicolons, you have a lot of semicolons missing. Can someone else look at her screen for me, please, and tell her what else is wrong?
She's missing equal signs, and didn't we have an issue with?
No, you have to stop for a bit for the equal sign. Where? Tell her exactly where.
Between adult fair and 100.
Right, so you're assigning 100 to adult fair, so you need that equal. No, just the equal. All right, you need a semicolon after the 100. Mm-hmm. All right, someone else? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Remember, it's not CRTS, it's CRT. And what you need there, remember your semicolons? Semicolon missing from the program name, the first line. All right, I want you to put in the begin and the end for your program, where you have the begin, the end, the full stop. And then I want you to run it to see if, compile it to see if everything is fine. Put the begin, type begin. No, not there. Put Control Z for undo. On your keyboard, you just press Control Z to undo. And then end with a full stop. So enter, enter, end with a full stop. All right. Answer is of what type again? You have age, total fear, number of adults, number of child, non-child is integer. You're all integers. Answer is what? You had erased that. Remember your semicolon. Okay, I want you to compile that to see if you're okay so far. All right, change from character to char. And let me see what you have for the type. Compile again. Okay, good. All right, so the type, the name of the type is not character for Pascal, it's char. So just remember that. Good, Dana. So just continue now from where you left off. Can I see Ophelia's one, please? After Ophelia is Jessica, then Dexton.
Miss? Which one?
I want to see a Pascal code for what we're doing now.
The same one we did a while ago?
No, man, with the one that I just type up a pseudocode for you that you are actually writing in Pascal.
Oh, I wasn't aware it goes off.
So what were you doing all this time?
I fell asleep.
Oh. All right, Dixon, can I see yours, please? Ophelia, where's yours? Oh, can I hear you, Ophelia? Your mic is off.
The one I have is the one we had to put the information in.
What do you mean?
The one with the total even and odd number, that's the one I have.
Yeah, but Ophelia, you didn't see what I type and put on the screen?
No.
So what were you guys doing all this time? Is Ophelia was sleeping? And Jessica was what, sleeping too?
I started.
Who talking to me now? Jessica? Okay.
Jessica.
So Jessica, you're saying that you started which one?
The one that you just typed up.
Okay, all right. And you just started?
Well, I haven't gotten further than what Dana did.
Okay. Oh Lord, guys. Rosalind is gone?
I'm there.
That works, Ophelia. That bright light will help you.
I'm there.
Rosalind, you showing me what you have, Rosalind?
Miss, actually, I'm not where you are at the moment. I've been working on the one before that. And I'm trying my best to get it to work.
Okay, because I wanted everybody to be working on that assignment. No, so I can guide you.
I know, but yes, I understand, but you gave us this one to do first. And then you came to show the other one and I wasn't through with it.
Oh Lord.
So I'm just going step by step.
All right, next one, show me what you have. You soon finish it though, Rosalind?
Yes, I just have one error that I'm trying to fix.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start the other one that you...
Okay. How many errors you have, Dexton? Okay. Yeah, now I can see. All right, your indentation is kind of off, giving me a little bit of an issue to read. When you go into the begin, remember to indent. When you're coming out, if begin that, right. All right, you have an end. Okay. I know what that end is for, but because it's not properly aligned, it makes your work harder to read. I'm going to ask you to work on the your indentation. See if we can fix the indentation, but you're doing very well, Dexton. You're doing extremely well, actually. So I'm going to ask you to fix the indentation for me. When you go into the begin, you indent, right? When you're coming out, you unindent.
Because I was trying to follow you as you were typing. So you put in the while further down. So I put in my while. I didn't get to fix the indents afterwards.
Oh, you were moving at my pace.
I was trying to, right.
Yeah, I get
it. There is a statement before the while that I didn't catch when you were...
Right, that is where answer was initially assigned the value y.
Right.
Okay. All right, very good, Dexton. Taylor, can I see what you have?
Yeah, it's easy Pascal. Really? Everybody see it? A very colorful screen. That's a yes. They say yes.
Yeah, man, we can see. I read.
So, constants are declared. For those of you who are looking at it, this is Easy Pascal. It shows you the space where you're going to run your thing just above it. It requires that you put in this, and it doesn't use the CRT or the read key. So if you don't see it, don't freak out. It doesn't mean yours is wrong. So constants, variables, initialization, my while, the statements, I split it into two. Ask for the name of the person and then use the name that we accepted in asking for the age. Compare the age, oh, that shouldn't be 0, that should be 18.
Yeah.
Right. Compare the age, updated, no semicolon before else. Literally just finished typing it. Updated no adults and no child accordingly. Asked if they'd like to continue. Ended my while loop. Calculated my total fare. Just put a blank line in there because I didn't want it to be pitched up against everything else. So that's just a right line with a blank space. And showed my total cost.
All right.
And so now I'm going to run it. So I have to run it there. Okay. You want me to put in any ages? Try a young one. Jessica made you young. One more.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Thank you. That's you. That's me?
No.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So for those who are finished, I want you to add another piece to your code. So to the code, I want you to determine whether or not a discount is going to be given, and the discount is given based on the total cost. So if the total cost is greater than $1,000, then give a 10% discount. So can you just modify your code to give a 10% discount if the total cost is greater than $1,000? I'm going to share the screen with the question again so that everyone can see.
Miss,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I have to leave class prematurely today,
Okay.
but I'll catch the video.
All right.
Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Bye, Dexter.
Bye, Dexter.
Miss, you also need to tell us about the next project today.
Not today. I'll just send it over the weekend. I'm still determining what to do based on how you're performing. My initial plan has to change.
Are we going to get this finished?
It don't look so. I'm seeking permission from the coordinator to just teach you arrays next week because you're just not ready. So, so I'm waiting for her to respond. Based on how we're going, I can't teach you arrays again. But it's fine. I don't believe in leaving students behind.
So. Adjusted it. Added some.
Good thing is that I taught the harder stuff first.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm very purposeful with certain things.
Most of us, even if you haven't taught spreadsheets before,
And
because you're teaching a program, you think it's like the if program.
The if, yes. Yes. That's why I thought that first. Yeah. Yeah, everybody doing all right. It's just based on previous knowledge.
At the time, and I'm saying, if you never did programming before,
yeah. I know definitely if I teach you arrays today, it would be of great justice to you. Yeah. So I need to give people like Dana and Jessica some time to absorb. So what I'm thinking of doing is giving you a question, you do the pseudocode for it and the Pascal for it, and let that be your second assignment. But everybody do it individually. So change your plans.
I understand.
And then you're going to have to modify it to facilitate arrays. So, yeah. Jessica, you all right? I don't know what Jessica functioning in that dark room though.
I'm doing fine. The room isn't dark.
The room isn't dark?
No, it's not.
Oh, it seems dark.
I think it's the angle of the webcam.
The camera. Oh.
Yeah.
Where's Ophelia? Because Ophelia went on a nap. Then you have to go keep checking in on Ophelia now.
Not eating any work today? Ophelia,
No.
That's your week of food.
The first thing is let's ask.
Oh, you mean the plus equal one? It like everything spread out. But you could try it though and let us see.
Is it $1,000 or more, or just more than 1,000?
More than 1,000. I'm checking it out for you, Courtney.
You're right. Serve you right from this.
Is who that yawning down the place? Ophelia, we don't want to be tired. Don't send that our way, please.
Sorry.
It's funny. What you met right now, just like person is wanting to do some differentiation, which will give you an text like a harder question. It's like a hard sort that out.
Looking for the ideas in the head.
So I'll be doing a check again in the next 5 minutes to see how we are progressing.
Problems.
The question set of this year.
All right, check time. Starting with Dana, then Ophelia, Jessica. Ready? All right.
Okay, this is what I have so far.
Can you enlarge the length of the screen? All right. You know what you keep missing, Dana? Those very integral semicolons. They're so critical. You're disobeying the rules of Pascal by forgetting those semicolons. All right. So just remember that no semicolons for the if, for the begin, for the else. You don't put semicolons there. Don't put semicolons where the while is. Don't put semicolon where the if is. Don't put it for begin any at all. But everywhere else, put the semicolon, except for if you have a if else situation. Or remember that we don't show end if. We don't show end if, so take that out. What we would say is that the else is ending, so we would say end with a semicolon. So you begin the if part and you end it, then you begin the else part and you end it. Yeah. And you see you have that right going too far now. Carry back the right in line with the end. Good. All right, you're progressing well. Just remember your semicolons so that you'll be fine. I see there you have, please enter age of name. Oh, you want to show the name of the person?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to say, please enter age of, then close the quotes, the single quotes. So you have open single quotes, please enter age of, then close the quotes. Wrong place, Dana. Yes, right there, yeah.
Okay.
But put a space and then the single quotes. Good, put a comma. All right then, and then what you're going to do after that now is you're going to remove the whatever you have after, yes, remove that.
Take off the single quotes and the semicolon?
Yes, and then you're going to close off. After name, you should have close bracket and semicolon.
Okay, so that's all.
All right. Okay, so what I needed to do is see if you can finalize the while and then run your program to see if all is well. Because I noticed that you don't have a begin for your while. You notice you say while, blah, 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 do, and you went straight into write, please enter, da, da, da. So remember that when you have your while, immediately after that, you have your begin.
So I have to put a begin between the number of child and while?
No, When you say while, the line after that is to say you're ready to begin the while. Yes. Okay. And the fact that you say begin, all of those that you have to be indented now. Yes. So indent every line that you have there by just one indentation. Good.
And then I say end.
No, you're not finished yet. Where the while ends. You see in the pseudocode you have end while, don't it?
Yes.
Right, so you have to look for where that end while is, and that's where the end to your while must be.
It will be here.
After that? You mean after that? No, exactly. All right, but anyways, fix some more. Let me see someone else's work in the meantime. Cool?
All of this has to be indented, all of this?
Yeah, man, those are part of the while, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so once it's a part of the while, you have to indent it. I don't see why you have a space between the if and the begin, though.
I put it so I wouldn't get confused, but I would have taken it off afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then. That's Yeah,
I know this is not easy, I know, but We're going to go through it. We're going to fight through it together.
Yes.
All right? So when I go home later, I might have to just write some more pseudocodes for you and then use that as assignment or something so you can get some more practice. All right? So don't worry about it. We'll fight through it together. Life. Rosalind, you good?
I don't know what to say.
You don't know if you're good?
Well, I'm good, yes, but I know you're referring to the work.
All right then. Yes, that's true.
I can only say I shall be good.
Yes. That shows hope.
Yeah.
All right. So let me see Ophelia, Jessica, Rosalind, Thalia, then Courtney.
Well, I'm the same place. I'm not where everybody else is. I haven't tried that yet.
You still
I know I will.
that question, Rosalind?
Yes.
Rosalind.
And actually, I am enjoying going through it to try to find the error. But
you enjoying it, but me need to find out how you progressing, miss.
Well, that's where I am. Honestly, that's where I am. And
show me what you have. Let me see what you're struggling with.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So when you run it, you're having issues? Oh, because you keep CRT.
Well, miss, I did that. When I remove it, I'm seeing 3 errors. When I put it there, I'm seeing 1 error.
So that's why you do that. No, miss, it's CRT. And no matter what you want to say, it's CRT.
Okay, well, when I put it and I save,
I'll walk it. Yeah, it just means something.
Show me 3 errors.
Exactly. So we're going to go down to the bottom where the errors are. And I want you to, okay. So it is saying that, hold on, Rosalind. It's saying that you're using remainder, yes? But you notice it says that the identifier is not found. You know what that means? You have not declared remainder. So you are using remainder here, but you have not declared it up by var.
Okay.
And then the formula is number space mod. You put number mod together.
Yes, miss. I had to change it because when I had it the other way, it showed me 9 errors. So I just keep.
No, it's not so. It's not so you do it, Rosalind.
Okay.
If you fix something the way it is to be fixed, don't go back and do something else so that you can lessen the number of errors. That's not how it works. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Save and run. Save and compile again.
Okay, 1 error. Oh, I see. I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to take our time. It says that count even has not been identified. Have you declared it? You call it counter even. You didn't call it count even.
Okay.
All
right.
And they have the same issue with count odd. Okay. Compile again.
Three errors.
Good. Where did you use counter even? Okay.
And the E as well.
Yes, good. Try that again now.
Oh.
So you see, whenever you book like that, you call on.
Really, I'm enjoying it.
Hey, boy, you must call on me because you know how long you could have passed this and gone.
Well, miss, I know, but the thing is, I mean, I don't want to interrupt because you were moving on, and eventually I will catch up.
Yeah, but we're going to catch up with so many errors that need guidance. You see where I'm coming from?
Yes.
I could have done long time from the first time I talked to you, you know. You didn't know that?
Oh.
All right, so I want you to try that other question now. Cool? Or you
Where is
want
that question, Miss? Is it in
to,
our VLE?
I'm going to send it to Courtney. All right? Stop
Okay.
sharing your screen for me.
Okay. Yes.
Let me send it to Courtney. Taylor, what's your last name again? B-A-T? That's what I put in the email. They're not sending no cover letter.
I think you can inform her email address. It's just that I think the answers don't want to send an email.
They don't want an email? In this day and age?
Probably because they like signatures.
Nah, they have to adjust. They ask for electronic signatures. That's what they do. Not in this day and age.
Miss?
Yeah?
Miss? Can
Yes,
I share mine now?
Huh?
Can I share mine now?
All right, give me 1 second, Ophelia. Let me just send the activity to Courtney. 1 minute, and then I'll see yours, okay?
Okay.
Sure. But we have to open anything first. All right, Courtney, that's you. All right, Ophelia, do your thing now, please. All right. Yes, let's see now. Ophelia, your thing all over the place. That begin, that's the begin for the program, right? For the instructions, so that need to go back over to where var is.
To my?
To where var is.
Yeah.
Begin must go over in line with var. No. Don't go to where begin is. Go down to where begin is. And I want you to bring it over in line with var. It should not be indented as shouldn't be indented. So unindented, yeah. Okay. You notice for var, you have adult fee and child fee.
Yeah.
And do you notice that they are assigned a value? Are those constants, Ophelia?
No.
Yes, they are. The fact that you are assigning values to them off the bat like that, it means that they are both constants. So you're saying that the adult fare is constant, it's $100. The child fare is constant, and that's $50. So they shouldn't be under var, they should be under const. Const with a T. Or you say it highlight. No, the others are actually variables, so those must be under var. Now I want you to check your spellings now. Because string don't spell right. And remember that we don't spell out character, we use char because that is a syntax for Pascal.
Char, what is char?
Char is a short for character.
O-C-H-A-R.
All right, very good. The CRT should be actually a capital C. All right, go down now. Let me see what's going on. You're saying while answer assign equal. You have to go remove that assign and it's one equal sign to do a comparison of equality. Not right there. Ophelia, you put the semicolon in the wrong place a little while ago. The semicolon ends the statement. So it has to come after the single quotes, not before it.
All right there?
No, go down to where answer is assigned the value yes. The value y, sorry. Look where your semicolon is. That's a colon. That's a colon.
There's no O.
Good. All right. Remove that answer is assigned. You should say answer. You're checking if answer is equal to. So it's just one equal sign.
That's it. While answer equals to Y.
Yeah, but you don't have equal there. You have an assignment operator there. What's the equal to operator?
I don't know.
Sign. Just an equal sign.
Just that?
Yeah. Remember that I said to you that the while is not supposed to have a semicolon. While statement should have a semicolon, but I see a semicolon there. Okay, the fact that you say while answer is equal to y, do, remember you need to begin your while. So after that you must say begin. Why you do that? Why you have that space? You don't unnecessarily space in programming, it makes your work harder to read. Yeah, but that can be out there, so though. You have to, it is to begin the while, so you have to indent it. Indent your begin. All right, and put a little extra space, like 2 spaces in the beginning of the while. No, too far. Just 2 spaces. 1, 2, 1. All right. Let us look at your right. It says, please enter name of student and age of person. You sure that's what you want to say?
I don't know what the question is asking.
Oh, Jesus. But it's not so me write the question. Check how I write the question. I'm sure I said, please enter name and age of person.
So it's name, enter name, and age. Of person.
All right, why do you have a semicolon within those single quotes? All right. You already, yeah, okay. Yeah, but you need that. No man, the read need the brackets. Yeah, man. Ophelia, that read need the bracket.
This one?
Yeah. See if you can put your mic on mute unless you want to say something. All right. So you're going to say read, open bracket. Not there, so. Ophelia, you know what I pick up that is happening? You're just doing rote learning. That won't help you here, right? So what I'm saying to you, just like what you have write with the open bracket and the things inside of the brackets, the read needs that also. So for the read, you're going to have your open bracket and put name and age in there. Yeah, but where are you though, Ophelia? I thought we were up there looking at please enter name and age of person. Because you're changing something that shouldn't be changed. The part that you're changing where it says, would you like to continue? Why would you need to read name and age there? So go back down to that read that you were fixing that didn't need fixing, and I mean in terms of the variable, and put in bracket now the variable that you want in there. So when you say to the person, would you like to continue, which variable do you plan to put the answer in?
The answer?
Yes, yes. Remember that you need semicolons at the end of your statements. Now, you don't put semicolon where begin is. You don't put semicolon for your while statement, and you don't put semicolon for your if and your else. So write those down so you remember that you don't put semicolons there. So you don't put semicolon at begin, else, while, and the ifs. All right, now, I want you to go to where you have if age is greater than 18, then. Go to that line. Now, below that line, you need to begin your if. Going a little bit with two character space. Right, begin your if. Now, what you have below it is what you actually want to put in that if section. Now, put the begin. You're going to begin your if, good. And then what you want in the then part is a num adults is assigned num adults plus 1. So after that line, you're going to end that then part of the if. So you begin it, end it now. Because that's the only thing. Put it in line though with the begin, so it's not hard to read. Now, if you notice, the if is not just a straightforward if, it is a if else. So seeing that it is a if else, it means that that semicolon that you just put at the end, you need to remove it. Good. Now get that else in line with the if. Begin the else. So the line below else is to write the begin, you know, the two character space, very good. You're doing well. All right. Now, the only thing you want to do inside of the else part is to just increment num child. So after you increment num child, you're going to end now your else. So that end if is to be removed, yes. And you're going to end the else, yes. Don't go too right. And then you put a semicolon to say you're finished. So when you end the else, you put a semicolon to say I am finished overall with my if structure. Now, the next thing I want you to do is to go down to that right statement, and I want you to bring it in line with not the end, because the fact that you say end there, it means that you're going to unindent, so you're going to end up being in line with the else. Good. And the read answer is going to be in line with the else also. Now, we don't say end while in Pascal. All we do is put an end to it. Now, if you look, you had started, remember that you had begin the while. Now it's time to end it. And to end the while, you put a semicolon. Good. Okay. No. It must be in line with the begin of the while. Where is the while? Where's the begin of the while? Go find the begin of the while and make sure that that end is in line with the begin of the while. Excellent. You do great work when you're listening, you know, Ophelia. Very good. All right. So let us go down now to the next line below it. Bring it in line with the end. No, not that one. The one below the end. Right. Good. Let me see if everything is okay there. No. You're trying to calculate the total fare. So I'm wondering why it is that you are using single quotes. I didn't have single quotes. I had brackets. So what I did, I had an open bracket, adult fare times non-adults. Excellent. All right, when you finish, you want to print, right? But we don't say print, we use what? Write. So, and you know, with the write comes the open bracket and so forth. So let me see you fix that one.
That's right.
No, it's one overall set of brackets. So comes you have two sets of brackets. And when you have total cost is assigned the value 0. You're trying to show what the total cost is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in quotes, you're going to have single quotes, you're going to have total cost. Then in the line, that's what you're going to have in the single quotes. Then you're going to have comma, total cost. Remember, what you call it? You never call it total cost, you call it total fare. So you want to show the user total fare, and you want to show them total fare, and you put the dollar sign, but that is in quotes, right? Right, but where's opening quotes for you? No, wrong place. Ophelia, we're trying to show them first a label with total fare. So that needs to be in quotes. That's the label we're showing them. The label has to be in quotes. All right, that dollar sign should be a part of your label. Your label.
So it should be
inside, yeah.
Total fare? Okay.
Good. Why you itch it up like that? You need a little space though. You're talking to them, you know, so you don't want your work look like cobbler work. So you're gonna say to them, total fare space, dollar sign. Good. Now, what you want to do now is after you show them that label, you want to actually tell them what the fare is and what variable store the fare.
$50 for child and $100 for adults.
No.
50 for child and 100 for adults.
All right, let us go again. Which variable actually has a total fare, which is what you need to tell them. So you're saying to them total fare, and you want that's a label. Now, which variable has the total fare?
The constant?
No. You see, rote learning still. Ophelia, go back down.
Total fare is integer. Sorry.
Go back down.
That's what you're talking about.
Go back down. And I see an issue with one of your variable names, but go back down. All right. Tell me what you did before that line, before that right total fare, blah, blah, blah. Tell me what you have before that.
I have total fare is adult fare plus
adult fare times adults
times number of adults plus child fare times.
What is it that you're trying to do there, or what is it that you're doing there?
I'm getting the total fare for the adults and the children
together, don't it?
Yes, I'm gonna add them.
So you want to tell the person now that you have calculated the total fare, you want to show your user what the total fare is. So you said you're giving them a label. So you say the total fare $. Now your job is to write the variable there that has the total fare. And what's the name of the variable?
The variable
is
total fare.
Exactly. So after that single quotes ended, no, come on, Ophelia, no. You're still in that right. You're still in the right. So you have the label. Oh Lord, you're not listening again. You are still in the right. That right function there. So what you realize is you have a label, but you don't have the variable that has the value. So in the single quotes, you have total fare $. Yeah? Now you need the variable that has the value so you can show it. And the variable that has the value is total fare, which is one word. But I see two words there. Put a comma after the single quotes as ended. All right. Good. So in that one line, you are printing, you're showing the user what the total fare is. And you're saying to them, let me give you a label. So you say total fare $. So you give them a label. But that's not enough. They need to actually see the figure. The figure is inside of total fare. So that is why you have total fare right there. Remember your semicolons. No, I think that is it. So end your program now. That means you're going over. You need to unindent. Yeah. All right. Compile it. I'm sure you're going to have an error. I saw one. But let me see if you can fix it. I want you to double click where the error is. Okay. Remember that for constants, we don't say the colon equal, we just put the source equal. All right, you're going to find, it says that identifier not found, num child. Good. Now you're going to save and compile again. You notice you call it non-adults, but down the bottom you were dealing with it as non-adult. So when you declare it, you say non-adults. No, don't put that. Just put non-adult.
So remove the S there?
Yeah. Save now and compile again. Okay. Okay, so you put non-adults elsewhere. Double click so you can bring it to where it is. Good. Fine. Right. Fix it. Double click again to see where the other issues are. All right. Save and compile again. Oh, see, I have more non-adults there. All right, you're getting less and less issues now. You said child fear. Check out what you name it. I'm almost sure you never call it child fear. So check up to where you declared it. Check where you declare it. You're not there. Check where you had declared child fear. Check where you declare it. Good. What did you call it? You call it child fee.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, okay.
Try again.
That's it. I think it worked this time. Oops. Still have a problem.
Can't open executable.
The S.
All right, go up. Let me see what's happening. The if, put the if in brackets for me. And the while.
Which one? This one?
The condition, put it in brackets, yeah. The age greater than or equal to 18, put that in brackets. For the while too, the condition for the while needs to be in bracket. Save and compile for me.
Thank you, Lord.
All right, so to execute it now, that means you need to run it. You see that lightning thing that's there? Yeah, or you just execute it, yeah. Enter the 50. No, enter the 50 now. Type 50. Press enter. You see what happened? It is better if you separate your questions. Ask for name, then ask for age. So although the pseudocode might have put the 2 in 1, you know that for oh, sorry. So with the sorry. Oh, you raise your hand. Dana is the first I see that, you know, cool. All right. So you need to separate that. Okay, Ophelia? Ask for the name and then read the name. Then ask for the age and then read the age. All right? So stop sharing. I think Dana needs to share something. So you're okay now, Ophelia?
Yes, I am.
Because it run without error. But you notice that you're insisting on rote learning. You're laughing. When I give you the other one, you scratch your head. When I give you the other one to do, watch what will happen if you continue with rote learning. Oh, yes. Yes, Dana, no. What's the issue?
I hope you can help me spot it.
All right, Dana. Just looking at what you show me, tell me what is your issue overall. Women always I tell you that you're not putting in.
I know. Surface, I'm doing surface learning.
Huh?
I'm doing surface learning. I'm not thinking.
She said she's doing surface learning.
She's doing surface. Oh Lord, let me tell you something. You see this topic, surface learning won't work.
Especially when the students.
That's what I realized. But then my issue is that I have a fatal syntax error and I'm trying to correct it. And
That's what Miss asked you. If you remember, it's the same thing that Miss been saying from the beginning.
You have a big she has a big issue. Every time she show it to me, I keep complaining about it. What heap of them?
Failure, what's it?
You have many lines with the same issue, the same one issue. It's in the non-adults line, it's in the non-child line, it's in the
It's in the assignment of 0.
Right, non-adults.
She have a whole heap of that issue.
Remember what we were talking about last night? Everything in Pascal must end with something.
Yeah, but then
what is that something?
It's not there.
It's a semicolon.
Mm-hmm.
So why you don't have it there?
You have a lot of semicolons missing.
Which means
I'm supposed to put it here.
Yeah.
All right, write this down for me, Dana. Semicolon goes everywhere except.
Write it. Is she writing?
She's not writing. She's laughing.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
I am writing.
Oh, look.
Okay, semicolon goes everywhere except the while statement, if statement, else, and the begin.
Okay, I'm embarrassed.
Mm-hmm. I agree. You should be.
Guaranteed.
This time you should be embarrassed because the last time I grill you with it, but you're on the surface learning. Oh God.
Okay.
That foot is messing up my
That's
thoughts.
the easy.
It's what we're messing up. Yeah.
To go away. It's killing us.
I'm hungry now. Don't do that to me.
I want to go. I cannot manage. I'm hungry for an hour and a half.
It's all right. Don't stress yourself. The box is closed. We'll leave. Yes. Okay. Where are we now? You see the thought process.
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes, Rosalind.
Yeah. The document that I got. I think that's the one I just did.
No, man. Go to page 2.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Go to page 2.
No, well, I just received a document from
Courtney.
Oh, the one below.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, I am going to be wrapping up now. All right. Show me, Courtney.
It's not a syntax problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's something. Alright, so I'm going to share
your screen. Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, everything I think is okay.
Okay. So compile it. Let me see.
Compile is okay.
And execute.
But the execution is where the problem.
No one show me the execution.
So I just wanted to show you first.
No, I normally run it first to see what's happening. So you can direct me to exactly where in the code.
Alright, so let me run.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go stop sharing that issue.
Oh, you have the same issue too?
Oh, Alright, so the problem I'm having is it's exiting the loop without me doing anything, even though the conditions are here.
Alright.
So,
mm-hmm.
Let's say age 50.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to continue your total cost? It's jumping the buffer. Alright, close that and let me see the code.
Close the whole program.
No, that's not the issue. I know what's the problem.
Yeah, we wanted to know last night.
No, show me the code.
So,
So
So see here.
You sharing your code, right?
Oh.
Need to see the code. No problem.
Are we seeing it?
All right, so you read the name, you read the age, that's whatever. Would you like to continue? Use read Ellen for name. Let me see something. Okay. No, age, all right. All right, do it now. Run it again and then tell me if it's okay.
Voicing there on.
Yeah.
I can't see why, because it should be in the room.
Let me see the code again.
And then,
Let me see the code again.
okay.
Oh, I can't troubleshoot with so much talking now. I have to actually zoom in. Yeah. All right, can you just go up a bit to the first time I seen the
Before the while.
1 second. All right, and say it's equal to. All right, scroll down a bit for me. All right, tell you what you do. Select everything that you have. The LN for the age won't work either. But...
Everything from.
All right, try it and see what happens. Put the LN for the answer too, and let's see what happens. Execute, yeah.
Oh. What's different?
Yeah. All right. So LN is what works. All right.
That's it.
Yeah, maybe it's a glitch with the language.
So that is. Common. Trusting what it wasn't.
It has to be just capital. If you want both of them, just put in an or. Just say or answer equal to the lowercase y. Because remember that in Unicode, they are given different numbers. All right. Okay.
I think I can work around it.
You think you can work around it? All right. Suppose I ask you to tell me in one sentence what that program is doing. What would you write? I give you a minute to write it. So in layman terms, if you were to say to somebody, this is what my program is doing, what would you say to them in just one sentence? Right? And that is how we're going to wrap up. Remember that we meet next week, Tuesday at 9. I'm going to also send to Courtney about 3 or 4 questions for you to practice. All right?
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, Rosalind.
Today is the burial of my godfather.
Oh Lord.
And funeral is at 3, so I'm going to hurry up to make it. It's already
Alright.
after. So I'll do my best to practice. Moving slow, but it's getting it little by little.
Yes, slowly but surely. Don't lose hope.
No, I won't.
So,
all right, so everybody.
sorry to hear though.
Yeah, I know. So bye-bye, everybody. I'm
Bye.
leaving now. Okay.
So in one sentence, I just want to know what you would say to the person that your program is doing. I prefer if you write it. When you write it, you don't go off with, with the talking. When you write it, you know, so this is what I'm saying, that's it. All right, Jessica, you want to share with me what your one sentence would be to describe what we're doing?
Yes. The program inputs the name of the customer, child or adult, calculates the total cost based on the number of adults or children, and it outputs the total cost of the bus fare.
All right, thanks. Okay, so that's it really. I am going to leave you now. You have some revisions to do and practicing to do. So give me until tomorrow to give Courtney about 4 other questions for you to try. All right? Guys, I really hope you learned something today. I know it is a task and a half, especially when rules are so strict. You can't go against it, you know, but it is what it is. Programming is fun. After you get the gist of it, it will be fun. All right? So for now, struggle through, Dana. Fight it through Ophelia and stop the surface learning. That won't help you at all. Not with this. You can try surface learning with a whole lot of other stuff, but not programming. I can guarantee that. All right? So thank you for your attention and for participating, guys. And I will see you on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend as best as possible and all the best in your exams. All right, bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
No problem.